New research has health professionals calling for restrictions on sports betting ads, saying they're setting youth up for a future of problem gambling. Let's discuss with Dr. Nicola Mercer, the Medical Officer of Health in Wellington, Dufferin, Guelph. Dr. Mercer, always great to see you.
Thank you for having me.
This research was published by the Canadian Medical Association Journal earlier this week. I mean, for anyone who watches sports, you know gambling ads will be popping up throughout the broadcast. Can you talk about why it's harmful for young people?
Yeah, this is a really important topic, and I think for parents, grandparents, or adults who are listening, the game has really changed a lot in the last few years. This is not the way it used to be. And in particular, the link between video games and online gambling, that link is now becoming more firmly established. So when we look in Ontario, this is a serious problem. So in the last 4 years, we know that we have doubled the number of youth in Ontario who are gambling, and that is between the ages of grade 7 and grade 12. So we're not talking university or college-age kids here, we're talking about high school and younger kids. And locally, when we do our surveys of youth in our community, we know that 22% of youth have gambled either in person or predominantly online in the last year. So this is serious, and the risk is growing. We also know that there is a strong link. There's a reason why they're advertising on sports venues. They are really targeting people who watch sports, and a lot of them are children, youth, young adults, especially young males, who are very prone to sports betting.
So some health professionals are calling for new laws in order to protect youth. What do you think needs to be done here?
I think the idea that you can expose children to something that is actually could be bad for their health. Obviously not every single person who watches a sports betting ad is going to gamble, but a very high percentage of youth, especially young men, are doing so right now. And there's a reason why that they're advertising is because they know it works. If we were advertising, as we did in the past, cigarettes or other forms of addictive substances, we would say, no, you can't do that when children and youth are watching. But when it comes to gambling, we seem to not really understand the impact that it is having on a very young audience. It's normalizing betting. It's becoming that this, when you watch sports, this is what you're supposed to do. And everybody now has a smartphone, and a lot of young people have smartphones in their pockets. Therefore, they also have a casino in their pocket. And we're beginning to see that a lot of youth are experimenting with gambling.
Do you think that there's a benefit here for parents and families to maybe talk to their kids, educate them, teach them more about the harms that come with online gambling ads and kind of create awareness around them?
I think it's really important for adults to know that the game has changed. They start advertising to your children very young. So in the past, if we go back in the past, I think many people are listening, they've watched video games. They said, oh, I never had an issue with gambling, and you played Pong or Donkey Kong or Super Mario's or one of those games. There was no in-game gambling, but that has changed a lot. The whole gaming industry now has a lot of features within video games that are targeted at very young children that sensitize into gambling. There are casinos in video games, there are loot bags, there are mini games within games, there are incentives like skins, which can then actually be taken out of video games and used on some casino sites for very young gamers. So this is all very blurring. It's really important for adults to know what's going on, know the games that they're playing, know what they're doing, talk to them, be really aware, especially if you have young males. Women are catching up fast, I'm not going to say that, but young males who are especially in university, we're seeing a really significant issue with young males gambling, and especially if they're athletes or in sports programs, sports management programs, a high percentage of them are actually gambling quite a bit. And it's not just the youth who are gambling. There's actually a whole growing industry of seniors who've never gambled their whole life. They're in their 70s or 80s, and they begin to gamble. And so this whole industry, which is making a lot of money off a lot of people, is also going to cause a lot of harm unless we begin to figure out how to manage it, how to explain it to our youth, and how to protect our youth from this influence.
Well, it's certainly something to create awareness around, of course, as well. Dr. Mercer, thanks so much for this. Dr. Nicola Mercer is the Medical Officer of Health in Wellington, Dufferin Guelph. Thank you.
And thank you.